Today I am making Italian Rococo Christmas or New Year's cookies. You want to use some gloves for these because these are definitely a get your hands in there and make them kind of cookie. And they are an interesting texture. I will say that I can't remember in this video if I tasted them or not, but I will tell you that they were crunchy on the outside and kind of felt like rubbery, chewy on the inside, but oddly they were good. My husband actually really liked them, which was kind of strange. But anyways, back to the recipe. So you want to start off with your dry ingredients. I will list the recipe down below so that you can get all the measurements and everything, but start off with all your dry ingredients and then make a well and add your honey in there. And then you can see here I'm taking my almonds and I tried putting them in the spice grinder to not finely, but to like a small chop, but it wasn't really working. It was turning them into more of a powder. So I started to do it by hand instead, which is kind of a pain in the butt because they were whole almonds, so they were kind of jumping all over the cutting board. Anyways, you want to add those into your mixture, and then you're also going to add your not candied, your orange zest and lemon zest. And then once you have that all mixed together, you're just going to add some water. It doesn't say whether it's cold water, warm water, it just says water. So you just want to add enough water until your dough comes together and it's not too dry, but it's not too wet. So that's kind of what you're looking for. So the recipe actually called for 1/3 plus 1.5 to 2 tablespoons, but you're just going to have to kind of eyeball it and add what you need and maybe not add all of it at once. It might take a little bit less for you. It just depends. So for me, I ended up having to add a little bit more than what it called for. So here I am rolling out the dough. The next thing once you roll out your dough is you want to cut 4-inch strips and get that all cut out. And then what you're going to do is basically roll little snakes. So I don't know if any of you have ever made baguette bread before, but it's kind of the same idea when you're rolling out the dough for that. So you'll see me here in a minute. And these did come out kind of small. So for me personally, if I'm going to sell them, which is what I was doing, planning on doing with these cookies along with some other goodies, I would personally make them a little bit bigger. For my home, I think they are actually the perfect size to have with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, which is actually what the Italians, I believe, usually eat them with. So here you see me rolling them out. And then what you want to do is just kind of fold one end over on the other and kind of press it together. And you're basically making a circle. So you want to do that with all of your dough. And then once you are done with that, you're going to place it on a parchment lined baking sheet. And then you want to take an egg wash, which will just be 1 egg and a tablespoon of water. And you just want to mix that together. And then you're going to do a little egg wash. And what I forgot to mention is it said to reserve 10 of your 1 cup of almonds. Now, the other thing is, I would probably recommend about a cup and a half of almonds, or maybe a cup and a quarter, because it said to reserve 10 almonds and to cut them in each almond into 3 pieces. And you're going to use that. You'll see me later topping off each cookie with part of the almonds that I set aside. Now, I don't think that was enough. And I think cutting into 3 pieces was too big. And also, like I said, 10 pieces was not enough. So I would do about a quarter or a cup and a quarter's worth of the whole almonds and do like a rough chop on them. So cut them into more than 3 pieces. And then it also says to put them on, I believe, before you do the egg wash, but I find if you put them on after you do the egg wash, because I did it before and they didn't stick as well. So I think it's best to roll your cookies out, get your little circles shaped, Put them on the sheet tray, do your egg wash, and then add your chopped up almonds on top after that. As usual, I left a few things out in the beginning. One of them, which is to preheat your oven to 350 and to also toast your almonds before you chop them up. So you want to toast them for about 8 to 12 minutes until they're lightly toasted. Just for reference, I'm in California, so we are not super high altitude. But if you are, then I would check and see if you should lower the temperature or make it higher. Like I said, I'm not really sure. So that's something to make note of. So here I am doing the egg wash, and I actually did do the egg wash first and then do the almonds after. So that is definitely the way to do it. And I realized that I did not show you the finished product. So I will put a picture up of these cookies along with some lemon poppy seed scones that I royally screwed up. You should check that video out. It's just before this one. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and the notification bell so you get all future uploads. Hope you all are having a fantastic start to the new year. If you made it this far to the video, leave a cookie emoji and I'll see you all in the next one.